Today is June 8, 2025, and Italy is facing an important moment in its history. The country is led by Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni. Her government has been in power since October 2022. It is a coalition, which means different political parties work together. This government has been quite stable and has strong support from the public. This stability is important for making long-term plans for the country's future. The traditional political parties, like the Democratic Party and the Five-Star Movement, have become weaker in recent years, changing the political landscape of Italy. The government is trying to be very careful with money. It is working to lower the public deficit, which is the amount of money the government spends more than it earns. The plan is to reduce this from 7.2% in 2023 to a much lower number in 2025. The big public debt is still a major challenge for Italy, but there have been some small improvements. The government believes that being fiscally disciplined is the first step toward building a stronger and more reliable economy for all Italian citizens, both now and for the generations to come. One of the main focuses of the government has been the 2025 budget. This budget includes important changes like tax cuts for people with lower and middle incomes. This means many families will have more money to spend. The budget also gives help to companies that hire new workers and invest their profits back into their business. These policies are designed to encourage economic growth and create more jobs. The government hopes this will make the economy more dynamic and competitive in Europe and around the world. The government is also very concerned about Italy's demographic problems. The country has a very low number of births each year. To help with this, the government has introduced new measures to support families. These include giving more money for each child and a special bonus of 1,000 euros for every newborn baby. These pro-family policies are a direct attempt to encourage people to have more children. The hope is to reverse the trend of a shrinking population and ensure there are enough young people to support the country in the future. The Italian economy shows a picture with both bright spots and dark clouds. On the positive side, Italy has become a very strong exporter. In 2024, it became the fourth largest exporter in the world, which is a great achievement. Italian products, especially from sectors like luxury goods, engineering, pharmaceuticals and food, are very popular globally. The country sells much more to other countries than it buys from them. This creates a positive trade balance, which is very good for the national economy and shows the strength of the Made in Italy brand. However, Italy also faces serious structural problems that have been around for a long time. One of the biggest weaknesses is the country's high dependency on foreign energy. Italy needs to import a lot of its energy, which makes it very expensive for both families and businesses. This is the highest energy dependency in Europe. Another major issue is the high tax burden. Italian citizens and companies pay some of the highest taxes in the developed world. This can make it difficult for businesses to grow and for people to save money. Another significant challenge is the low investment in research and development, or R&D. Italy spends only 1.4% of its GDP on R&D, which is much less than the European Union average. This lack of investment makes it difficult to innovate and create the high-tech industries of the future. As a result, the country's overall economic growth has been very slow for many decades. Since 1990, the economy has grown by only 20%, which is much slower than many other European countries and a major concern for long-term prosperity. This slow growth has had a direct impact on people's lives. Italy is the only country in the European Union where real wages have actually fallen between 1990 and 2020. This means that even though prices have gone up, the money people earn has not. The average salary in Italy is lower than in many other major European economies. This situation makes it hard for young people to build a future and for families to feel financially secure, creating a cycle of economic difficulty that is hard to break. Italy is going through a deep demographic crisis. The number of babies born each year is very low, at only 379,000 in 2023. This means the population is getting older and smaller. At the same time, many talented young Italians are leaving the country to find better job opportunities abroad. This is often called a brain drain. Between 2011 and 2023, more than 500,000 young people emigrated. This is a huge loss for Italy, as the country is losing its most educated and ambitious young generation. which it needs for future growth. To manage population changes, immigration has become a very important topic. The government has taken strong actions to control illegal immigration, and the number of migrants arriving by boat has dropped significantly in the last year. However, legal immigration is crucial for the country. Immigrants already make up a large part of the workforce and contribute significantly to the economy. Experts say that Italy will need millions of new workers in the coming years, and many of them will have to be immigrants to fill the gaps in the labor market. A very important discussion is happening right now about citizenship. Today and tomorrow, Italians are voting in a referendum. The vote is about changing the law to make it easier for non-EU residents to become Italian citizens. The proposal is to reduce the time someone must live in Italy from 10 years to 5 years. This would make Italy's law similar to countries like France and Germany. This change could help immigrants feel more a part of Italian society and encourage them to contribute even more to the economy and community. This citizenship question highlights a bigger challenge: how to integrate new people into Italian society. A yes vote could help address the country's need for more workers and a younger population. It could make Italy a more welcoming place for people who want to build a life here. However, the government is not supporting the change and has asked people not to vote. The result of this referendum will show what kind of future Italy wants for itself, one that is more open to new people or one that remains more traditional. To build a better future, Italy must take clear and realistic steps. First, it needs to modernize its laws, especially regarding citizenship. Aligning the residency requirement with other major EU countries by reducing it to 5 years would be a smart move. This would help integrate immigrants who are already living and working in Italy. A better integrated population would be more productive and could help solve the demographic crisis by contributing to society and the economy. It is a practical solution to a pressing problem. Second, Italy must seriously invest in the drivers of future growth. This means spending much more on research and innovation. The country cannot continue to lag behind the rest of Europe in this area. It also needs to find ways to stop the brain drain. This could be done by creating better job opportunities and higher salaries for young, educated people. Attracting talent, both Italian and foreign, is essential for building a modern, knowledge-based economy that can compete on the global stage for decades to come. Third, the country needs to fix its deep-rooted economic problems. It must reduce its dependence on foreign energy by investing heavily in renewable sources like solar and wind power. The government should also continue its efforts to lower the high tax burden, to encourage business investment and help families. At the same time, policies must be put in place to raise wages and create more jobs, especially for young people. Tackling these structural issues is difficult but necessary for sustainable economic health. In conclusion, Italy is at a crossroads. It has many strengths, from its powerful export industry to its new, more assertive role in international politics, especially in the Mediterranean and Central Asia. However, it also faces huge challenges like its high debt, slow growth, and aging population. If Italy can make brave choices, modernize its laws, invest in its people and in innovation, and fix its structural economic weaknesses, it can create a more prosperous and stable future. The path is difficult, but with clear vision and determined action, a brighter future is possible.